Hi guys, welcome to Monday Money Matters. I'm breaking all the rules over here. For those who know, you know. Okay, welcome back to Surviving Tween-dom, Monday Money Matters. I am a day late, okay? I apologize. Things have been crazy. I have been so busy. When I say busy, I mean busy. Who's getting ready for Christmas? Who's getting ready for the holidays? For those of you who celebrate Christmas, for those of you who celebrate Kwanzaa, who's getting ready for winter? What's everybody doing? Remember, if you're just joining, please remember to hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment, share with your friends, even your friends that don't have kids. I'm telling you, there's lots to learn on this channel. And I hope that a lot of you were able to catch the tween talk with my daughters. They both actually came on. It was quite interesting. I got a lot of good feedback about it. So instead of doing it monthly, I think I'm going to bring them on again maybe next Tuesday to do another live and to, just discuss some other stuff, whatever. But today is week 2 of Monday Money Matters. Last week we just got our feet wet and I talked a little bit about my background with money, my love-hate relationship with money. And then I mentioned this week we are going to talk about budgeting. Oh yeah, so this book I'm reading, this one. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Gail. She's actually been on the Learning Channel, TLC. I'm not sure what the channel would be called in other countries. In Canada, though, it's TLC. She's been on a lot of shows. She's great. I mentioned before that I usually read a book a week. I am so behind. I think I bought this book a month ago, and I said last week that I was going to try to at least get through chapter 1. I got through chapter 1, but I did not get to move on to chapter 2. However, some of the homework, without spoiling the whole book for those of you who have not had a chance to read it, chapter 1 talks about printing your bank statements. I believe she recommends about 3 to 6 months worth. I did that. It was quite alarming, actually. I spent some time doing some homework. So what I did is I have 3 accounts. I've got savings and 2 checkings. And I pulled from my checking account, not the one that the bills come out of, because the bills have to be paid. I pulled the one that my money goes through first, and then I funnel it out to my savings and my other checking account for my bill payments. So this is the checking account that's got the coffee runs, the money from the clients come in through here. If it's freelance, because that's personal. Business is in a separate business account, so that's totally different, right? My gas, Uber Eats, grocery shopping. What else we got here? I think I said food already. What else comes out of this? Oh, subscriptions, yay. Retail purchases, that sort of thing. So I've got an example here. I can't seem to find the one that I pulled from the summer. But I know that when I started reading this book, I changed a lot of different things about my lifestyle in general, because I want to know where my money's going. When I was in my 20s, and I think it has a lot to do with the way I grew up, with my mom being very budget oriented, I had this thing that when I started making money, I didn't want to look at price tags. I went in the store with a couple $100 and I knew that I had enough. So I'd grab what I wanted and I'd bring it to the front, and I automatically knew that I had enough money. And I never looked at the price tags. And that gave me a high, and it gave me a sense of confidence. I was never an over shopper. I just refused to conform to a budget. And this is how I was living in my 20s. When I bought my house at 30, of course I had to change that up a bit, but I still had this thing. I don't want to be one of those people that have to live on a budget. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with living on a budget. You're supposed to live on a budget. It's the smart thing to do. Okay? This is how rich people keep their money in their pockets. It's by accounting for your money. New rich people, that's different. When you're new rich and you've acquired your richness through like in your 30s or your 20s and you weren't born that way, then you just want to spend, spend, spend. But when you're born into it and you have a good relationship with money and you know how to invest and you know how to save and you know how to deal with your money properly, you want to know where your money goes and you want to do it properly. So again, there's a lot of things that I changed, especially over the last 3 months when I started reading that book. Did I say 3 months? Okay, I think I said I bought the book a month ago. I realized I bought it 2 months ago. So over the last 2 months, I changed a lot of things that I had been doing and a lot of bad habits. And I'm so happy because, hold on, let's see. I printed off September. So this is September. Okay. I tracked 4 different areas of my spending, which is food, eating out, my coffee runs, gas, it's necessary, but I still wanted to know, and Uber Eats, okay? So I am amazed. I want to give you some background. 4 years ago, when I was still traveling to downtown Toronto and working in law, I would travel 2 hours in the morning commute and pay for parking, and I would travel 2 hours to come home. That's 4 hours on the road after working for 8 hours. That's like 12 hours out of the house. So then what I started doing was, the days that the girls were with their dads, I decided, listen, I can't sit in traffic for 2 hours. So instead of going home during rush hour, I'm going to grab a bite with coworkers after work or meet up with some friends and whatever. But what I noticed was maybe 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week, I was spending $15 on lunch every day, $15 on lunch every day, but 2 or 3 times a week to avoid rush hour. I would go grab a bite for maybe an hour after work or an hour and a half. But we weren't eating at like bagels and stuff. We were fine dining. So we were spending like $50 and $75 a day. So when I looked at my bank statements, I remember doing it 3 years ago when I first started working for myself. Honest to God, I was spending about, I want to say, close to $2,000 or $3,000 on eating out a month. No word of a lie. $2,000 to $3,000. Can you believe that? $2,000 to $3,000. So that was eating out after work, lunch, whenever I took my girls out to eat too, because I mean, when you're out of the house 12 hours a day, sometimes you don't feel like cooking. I was not meal prepping on the weekends. On the weekends, sometimes we would go out to eat. Like, we were eating out a lot. It was crazy. So when I did this, I'll fold this so I don't show my whole banking info. And I'm going to cover my address here. But do you see that top number for food? Yes, that's right. $159.96 plus $60. So we'll say roughly $220. No, 159 plus 60 is about, yes, $220 I spent in the month of September on food. That's damn good. I'm very proud. Coffee was 119 plus 26, so that's roughly, if I do my math, that's about $145, $150. We'll round it up. That's a lot. That is way too much for coffee. For coffee runs, $150 is a lot of money. So granted, that's a coffee and maybe sometimes a croissant. Mostly Tim Hortons. I'm not a Starbucks girl, although I did see 2 Starbucks runs on my bank statements. But those were the girls. They like Starbucks. I'm not a Starbucks person. I cannot stretch my wallet for Starbucks often, but I'll do it for them once in a while. Okay? Uber Eats was $83, which is also a lot of money to me. And gas, I'm actually pretty shocked that my gas was only about $310, especially because I am on the road so much with my property maintenance business. I'm driving to different job sites here and there. Again, the girls go to school about 30 minutes away from here. So when I'm commuting in the morning, commuting back and forth, I think $300 a month between two cars is actually amazing. So that makes me happy. So I'm going to compare. That's September. October, I was even happier because in comparison, the food expenditure, I saved $40 less in October. That's my October statement. And so what I did was, and you guys can do this too, I made a little, my yellow highlighter stopped working, but what I did was, so I'm going to just not show my address here. But I just used a highlighter and picked different colors. And then when I went through my bank statements, this is just simple homework, right guys? I just highlighted everything. I highlighted it, highlighted all the items that I was looking for, color coded them, and then I tallied them up in the end. That's it. What's we'll call it? Okay, so coffee, again, I was so happy because I saved $60. So remember, food, I saved $40 within 1 month. Coffee, $60. Gas, I saved $20, and Uber Eats was a zero. $83 I saved. So I'm very happy. And I'm telling you, this is just simple budgeting. When you take the time, take an hour on the weekend. You can even do this when you're watching TV. Print out your bank statements, color code them, highlight them, and see where your money is going. I encourage you. Now, I'm not one to believe that you have to live so frugal where you can't enjoy your life, but all of us do it. There's areas that we throw our money away and it can be going towards other things. So just for instance, in September, the food that we ate out, which was only $220, which isn't bad. It's only bad because it wasn't restaurant food. I think one time we went and had pho, which is Vietnamese food. And I think I spent $35 on that day. Other than that, when I pick the girls up from school, I have a bad habit of, even before we eat dinner, school ends pretty early for them, 2:30 and 2:40. That's early. That's not even dinner time. So when I pick them up, the first thing I would say is, girls, are you hungry? And they'll be like, yeah, what do you want to eat? And we'll stop somewhere. The younger one usually likes to get a quesadilla. The older one would like to get like maybe like a bean salad or something from somewhere. But the little $10 and $5 and $8, and sometimes I'll grab something $10, it adds up. When in actuality, if we're going to be staying at the grandparents for a little bit after school before we come home, I could literally bring snacks from home, right? There's definitely food at their grandparents' house. I think it's just a habit that I've created to pick up food, and then we enjoy a snack together after school. We talk about our day, we do the homework thing, we'll laugh, blah, 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 before we go off and watch TV or whatever it is that we do. It's just a thing. It's a habit. So if I were to cut back on that, let's just say even in half, that $100 could pay a light bill. Easily. My hydro bill is like $70 a month. So do you see what I'm saying? Like there's certain areas where we spend our money that we can put to other use, if that makes sense, right? You know what? I was going to touch my laptop screen. I'm not even going to bother because, like I said, it's on the fritz. It's 7 years old on its last leg. Well, not its last leg, but 7 years old, and it's been acting up. So for my first budget lesson, this is simple mathematics. Simple stuff. Again, I encourage you guys, print out your bank statements, 3 to 6 months worth. Think about the things you know you spend the most of your money on. For most people, it would be eating out, probably subscriptions, coffee runs, gas, Uber Eats, or taking Ubers or taxis. What else? Retail shopping. I'm not a big shopper. I shop in quarters of the year. I didn't even bother doing the retail for September only because I know we spent a lot of money back to school shopping this year. So I didn't think it was fair to even go through the retail for myself because my younger daughter went through a giant growth spurt over the summer. So she needed all new clothes. And then the older one just wanted all new clothes. So I didn't think September was fair for me to go through for retail. But because I'm not usually a shopper in terms of like clothes and shoes, like it's not really my thing. I picked the things that I know personally that I spend the most money on. So I would encourage you guys to pick maybe 4 or 5 quadrants or groups where you know you spend the most money, highlight them, calculate it, and figure it out. See where you can save some money. What else did I want to say about budgeting? Let me think.